So I'm going to go into Illustrator. And if the default size inside of Illustrator is 550 by 400, we want to make a landscape that is at least double that. What's 550 times 2? 1100, okay. 1100. Okay, so we're going to make a size inside of Illustrator that's 1100 pixels by 400 pixels high. Okay? So in Illustrator, go File, New. File, New. That goes 1100 pixels, make sure it's pixels, by 400 pixels high.
Is this being recorded?
Yes. I got my microphone on. We're all good. We're talking. Okay, so there we go. There's my background. Again, this is double the size of the window. Think of a window. You saw the background moving. There we'll have a window, and the background moves in the window. So draw yourself a landscape. Whatever you think the bird will flap on. You guys know how to do that. You can make it real simple. I'm going to do a little green grass, maybe. Little green grass at the bottom. Yeah, any landscape you want, doesn't matter. The size is what's important. The dimensions are the important part, right? The dimensions. So there's a green grass. Do it real quick because we don't have a lot of time today. We have, how about a couple of mountains here? There's one mountain, 2 mountains, 3 mountains. These are pretty ugly mountains. Here's a mountain. Here's a mountain. There we go. And we're going to color them. I don't know, mountain colors. Whoosh, what are purple mountains? I guess they're brown mountains. California mountain, brown. There we go, brown mountain. And then, of course, we need a sky. Let's put a little sky in there. Sky in there. And we can move that all the way to the back. And let's put a little sky color in there. Sky color. Oh, and you guys all know how to make clouds by now. Hopefully you remember how to make clouds. So we got our little cloud. Oops, that's a pretty ugly cloud there. Maybe not that cloud. Let me make a little better cloud. What did we do for clouds? Cloud. Let's make a cloud color. There's a cloud. Whoosh, I forgot. Let's doing this one. No. Cloud color. There we go. Can you have an inside color for this? There we go. Okay. There's a cloud. Yeah, I'm just going to duplicate it. There we go. Cloud. Maybe rotate it. No. I should make different clouds, shouldn't I? Yeah. We make different clouds. There's one cloud. There's another cloud. Oops. No. Another cloud. There's another cloud. Storm cloud there. And then one more cloud. And maybe put a tree or so in there, huh? Can we put a tree in there? I don't know. Some trees. Do I have any trees in my symbols library? Trees. Nature. There you go. There we go. Little forest. There's a forest there. Forest there. A smaller forest here. Some pine trees up there. Redwood trees there in the mountain. A couple redwood trees. Any kind of landscape, doesn't matter what it looks like. We already went over how to do landscapes already. There we go. So make something quick. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Finish that. 2 more minutes, make a landscape. So again, I'm going to save this, and you save it as an Illustrator AI file. Everything's in one layer for the landscape because, if you wanted something to move separately in the landscape, like the clouds moving separately, you would have to put it on its own layer, right? But I'm not going to have the clouds moving separately, so everything's on one layer. So save as Illustrator. I'm just going to call it background. Background. Leave all the default settings here. You don't have to change anything. Next, I'm going to go and make my bird flapping. Again, I'm going to start with a new file. Now, you say to yourself, well, how big do I want my bird to be? Well, I'm going to choose the window size, the 550 by 400. Then I'll draw my bird kind of where I think he needs to fit as far as size-wise within that window. And then later on, before I save it, I'll shrink the artboard down to the size of the bird. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about what size to make the bird yet. I'm just going to choose the main window size, which is 550 by 400. And I'm going to draw my bird kind of how he might fit within this window, right? How would a bird fit in this window? Probably little. He'll be kind of small, but that's okay. So we could just make it, I'm going to do very quick kind of bird with some circles, that's all. Again, I'm going to use some ellipses and kind of a bird body. I'm going to make it kind of big so you can see what I'm doing. And of course, we'll make him a yellow bird and then maybe give him a head. And maybe rotate that a little bit down. There we go. And then, what's that? A pink bird? Yeah, pink bird. Flamingos are pink. Maybe give him a beak, right? Maybe a little triangle beak here, and a little beak here. And maybe make that a different color. He's orange beak. And then, of course, let's put an eye on him. We can make an eye. We can make an eye. And then some feet. Maybe use a pencil tool. Make some feet. Feet. There he is. There's some feet. There he is. And once I'm done, maybe he needs a tail. I got to put a tail on him here. What color tail? Maybe a tail. There we go. Bird skin. There we go. Unless that's some. Maybe he's a rocket bird and that's exhaust coming out of his butt or something. The rocket bird, but whatever. Okay, so the key here is I haven't drawn the wings yet because what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the bird 3 times in the layer window, and then I'm going to draw the wings on each layer in a different position. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate the bird. I'm going to duplicate him 3 times. And then, so how do you duplicate? So he's all in one layer. We can call this bird 1 if we want. Bird 1. That's cool, bird 1. To duplicate in the layer window, if you don't see the layer window, of course, it's under window, layers, window, layers. I have one bird under my layer. To duplicate it, an easy way to do it is to grab the layer itself and drag it into the new layer box right here, and it will duplicate it. And we'll call it bird 1 copy, and we'll call that bird 2 if we want. Bird 2. Again, how you duplicate a layer is you grab the layer itself, and next to the trash can in the layer window, there's a trash. No, not in the trash can. You'll delete your layer. Next to the trash can, there's like a little new window right here that makes duplicate, and I'm going to call it bird 3. So again, to duplicate, after you draw your bird, you take the bird and you drag it next to the trash can here. Duplicates the entire layer, all the pieces in the layer. So after you're done doing that, you just need to draw a wing in each one of the layers of a wing in a different position. So you might even turn the eyeball off so that you don't get confused. So I'm going to click on bird 1, and I'm going to turn the eyeball off on 2 and 3 so that they're not even on the screen. So I'm going to turn the eyeball off of these 2 birds, and I'm going to draw a wing, maybe just using the paintbrush or something like that. So, whoosh, that's a pretty bad wing, but that's a wing nonetheless. I'm going to select my wing and give it a color. There it is. That's a wing. Next, I'm going to go to another bird. I'm going to go to bird 2. And I'm going to turn the eyeball off, and I'm going to go to bird 2 layer, and I'm going to draw a wing, and kind of in a different position, maybe a little bit down, a little bit more. And of course, color that also. Oops, you got to select it first. Color that. Oops, I think it was a little brighter. Guess I should have sucked up the color from the other one. In fact, that might be the best way to go about it. Suck up the color from the first one and then apply it to the second one. Oh, geez. Select it and use the eyedropper. Oh, there it is. There we go. Suck up the color from the second one. And then the third one, I'm going to turn all the eyeballs off except for the third one. And I'm going to draw the bird wing in a different position. Kind of flatter. And let's fill that in. And actually, I'm going to turn one of the other ones on so I can use the eyedropper to suck up the color. There we go. So basically, I have you can turn the eyeballs on and see how the animation's going to work. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then we can have it actually go back. So you can see what it'll look like. Kind of cheesy, but we don't have a lot of time in class. There we go. So I'll give you a minute. Again, I have 3 birds in 3 different layers with wings in 3 different positions. Right? I have a wing in different positions on each one. And when we go to animate, it will loop. It'll keep going. Well, it's going to go one direction and then go like this. In theory, you should have it go down and back up and down and back up and down and back up. I actually have some really good ones that we've recording again. Oh, sorry. I failed to resume. Save everything as Illustrator. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to go over to Flash. If you don't have Flash in your dock, Flash is an FL right here. If you don't have it in your dock, you can go under Macintosh hard drive, go to Applications, go to the Macromedia section. You have all these Adobe products here. The one we're going to use is called Adobe Flash CC 2014. And I'm going to open up Flash, Adobe Flash CC. Okay, so my mistake. But the concepts are the same. So once you start Flash, I don't know what this window and how to get rid of it is. I'm going to say File New. And again, the default size is 550 by 400, so I'm going to hit OK. Again, say File New, leave everything default, just hit OK. File New, leave everything default, hit OK. You see the window, right? Let's import our background. To import the background, we go under File, Import to Stage. When we say Import to Stage, what that means is take that artwork that we make and put it right on the visible area. So we're going to say Import to Stage, and we're going to go to wherever you saved your desktop, My Background, wherever it's at. There should be something called Background somewhere, don't I? Oh, here it is, Background. And then hit Open. Hopefully it'll open. Uh-oh. It's crashing. Don't crash on me. Uh-oh. Okay, so... Yes?
My import to stage is grayed out.
So in this case, board. I would leave all the defaults here. You don't have to change anything. Flash layers. Wait. Convert layers to flash layers. I don't know. Let me try it first. Yeah, that's fine. No, that's not good. Hold on. It's all in one layer, but did it make it didn't ask me to make it a movie clip, did it? Hold on. It should ask me to make it a movie clip. Why? Let me try it one more time. Import unused symbols, convert layers to flash layers, a single flash layer. Let me choose that single flash layer. Maintain editable path, single flattened bitmap, no. Vector text. I'm going to change this to single flash layer and then hit OK. And then before I do anything else, I'm going to make this into a movie clip by going under Modify, Convert to Symbol. Go under Modify, Convert to Symbol and say, make sure it says movie clip and let's call it background. I don't know why it didn't ask me to do that when I did it, but again, go modify, convert to symbol, and give it a name and hit OK. For some reason, usually in the older versions of Flash, it would ask you if you want to make it a movie clip when you're importing it. Didn't do it here. So they've changed it. So after I've imported it, I went under Modify, Convert to Symbol, and make it a movie clip. It has to be a movie clip to animate it, is what I'm trying to say. And then let's move the landscape. I'm going to move the landscape, once I do that, to the left side. Look how you can move the window around. See how I'm moving the window around? Look at it. Think of this as a window. This is a window. And this is a piece that goes in the window. See it? See the window? Think of this as a window. So I'm going to start this on this side over here. Think of this as a piece of artwork, and that white area is a window. I'm going to start it on this side. Okay? Okay, let me try and import the bird before I tell you how to do it. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to say import to library. Hold on. Let me practice the bird first. Okay. Shift and put it there. Hold on one second. I'm close. Close. There's my bird. I didn't do what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Let me do it again. Why did they change it? Why do they change it? You know, why do they change how things do it? New symbol. Hold on, I'm close. Now what I want to do is I want to bring, if you look at the timeline at the top, see the timeline up there where it says layer 1 in the upper left corner? You see numbers up there. One of them says number 1. Do you see it? Number 1. So what I want is I want it to bring in each bird and put one bird in 1, 2 bird in 2, and a third bird in 3. Okay, so it's going to put 3 of them in there. To do that, what you're going to do is you're going to tell Flash to take each layer inside of Illustrator and put it down the timeline. Okay, to do that, you go under Insert, or I'm sorry, file, import, import to stage, find your bird or whatever you made, you hit open, and now what you want to do is this option right here where it says keyframe. So what's going to do is it's going to convert each layer, it's going to take each layer and put it as a keyframe, so it puts it down the timeline. So you can do an animation very easily and say keyframes right here, and then hit OK. And right now, if you want to see your bird flap, there's a little red bar at the top up here. You're going to kind of scroll through it, and you'll see what it does. See is. And if you don't want to have them clicked on, you can see the objects are there, but you can see that's the looping part. Just scrub this little red bar across like that. So it's going to keep going like this over and over again. See this? That's what I meant by looping. It's going to take this little red, see the little red playhead, that's called a playhead, and it's going to keep going back and forth like that. So he's going to look like he's flapping. Of course, you would spend some time animating it looking good. We just did it fast. But you see the little red playhead going back and forth, and you should see it going like this. You see that? Okay. So let's go back to the main scene with the landscape. To get back to the main scene with the landscape, you go to where it says Scene 1 right up here. See where it says Scene 1 up here? Click on that. It'll take you back to the landscape. Okay. Right now, you should have something called the library over here. A library. And in the library, you probably have a bird over there. You see it? There should be a library. No? You guys don't have a library on the right side?
The file we saved, right? Just birdie.
Okay, she has one. Do you guys have your birdie over there?
I saved it birdie, I guess.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, we're close. So, right now, if you look, we have only one layer. It's called background up there. Do you see it called background up there? We need to have two, because we're going to animate the bird in one and the background in another. So we need to make a new one of these, and then we take the bird and we put it onto the stage, and then we can animate. So to do that, we go to this looks like a little folder over here, kind of towards the top. It's kind of new layer, it's right there. It's like a little thing, it says new layer. Put your cursor, it's like a little folder right here. See it right there. And I'm going to call it birdie, or whatever you want to call it, B-I-R-D-I, whatever, birdie. So again, it's right here. And you make a new layer right there. Then I'm going to go over to the library that's on this side over here, and I'm going to grab the one that says birdie over here. You should have like a little symbol, it looks over here. It's called birdie over here. And I'm going to drag it out and put it kind of over here. So after you make your new layer, drag your birdie from here to here. So he's going to start off the screen, and he's going to come flapping on. He's going to kind of stop in the middle. Once he stops in the middle, we're going to take the landscape and animate it that way. So you have two things animated. One is the bird, and then he's just going to stop, and he's going to kind of flap. But he's look like he's going to be moving because the background is moving. I mean, he's just flapping in space. Does that make sense? Here, I'll show you how to do it. Very easy. The easiest way to do it is to, I can't zoom in. I don't think I can make this any bigger. I wish I could. Let me see if I can zoom in up here. Oh yeah, there's a way to make this timeline bigger. Is there a view? Zoom in? No. Oh, it's up here in the right corner. We'll make these large. Oh, that's too big. Medium. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see this a little better up here. So in the upper corner up here, you notice you have two objects. You got one object, the background in one, and you got a bird in one too. So I'm going to go all the way out to, I said for the first second we want the bird to animate on the screen and we want the landscape to not move. Well, to do that we need to put a keyframe out at 24. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way out here, so count down the timeline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to like 25. We can do 25, it's easy to see 25. And I'm going to hold my left mouse down and I'm going to drag down both little guys right here. So you drag down. Kind of highlight, you can hold the shift key and select both. At 25. Do you see that? 25? Just, it should turn yellow. Did you guys see that? Yeah. You want to do it again? I'm here. Put your cursor all the way out. Don't drag none of these things. Don't drag them. Just put your cursor at 25 and click. You can hold the shift key down and click. Select both of them. So we're going to make a keyframe right there. How do we make a keyframe right there? We're going to say insert, timeline, keyframe. Insert, timeline, keyframe. Or you can hit F6 on the keyboard. I believe will do the same thing. Insert, timeline, keyframe. And it puts little dots out there. Little dots out there. Okay, let's put one more keyframe. So for the first 25 frames, the bird is moving. We haven't animated him yet. It's okay. We're very close. You'll see how close we are. Then we're going to go out to 50. So let's go out to 50. And I'm going to select both of them out there, both frames out there. Again, you can hold the shift key down to select both of them and do the exact same thing. Insert, timeline, keyframe. So what we've done is we have 3 moments in time. We have 1, 25, and 50. So between 1 and 25, we'll move the bird. And between 25 and 50, we'll move the landscape. Here's how to do it. Very easy. Let's start with the beginning. So I'm going to go all the way back to 1. And I'm only using the birdie. I'm only going to use the birdie. So I'm going to select the number 1 for the birdie. Number 1 for the birdie right there. Select number 1 for the birdie. You're going to right-click on it. I'm going to right-click on it, number 1 for the birdie. And I'm going to say Create Classic Tween. Create Classic Tween. So again, I right-clicked on here, Create Classic Tween. Next, I'm going to go all the way out to number 25, all the way out to 25. Now I'm going to grab where the birdie's at 25, grab the birdie at 25, and I'm going to move him onto the middle, kind of not middle of the screen, because remember the window is probably right about there, so I'm going to move him to about that position. Because remember the window is about here. So again, at 25, see I'm out to 25, grab the birdie and move him out to the middle. And then we're going to do the same thing for the landscape. I'm going to right-click at 25 for the landscape. I'm going to right-click at 25 for the landscape and say Create Classic Tween. Create Classic Tween. Then I'm going to go all the way out to number 50. You're not moving the birdie now. We're going to go out to 50 now. And I'm going to grab the landscape at 50, and I'm going to move the landscape over so that the edge of the left edge is on the left side there. Like that. Oh, and the bird seemed to move. Did you see that? We got to move the bird back. Shit, he's going to go backwards. At 50, you might need to move the bird back onto the screen too, because he's a little bit, he's not in the same position. Yeah, he's a little bit off. So you might have to move the bird back. For some reason, he's not at 50. We should have done that afterwards, but oh, see that? Damn. Oh, look at that. He's going to be a little bit, he's going to move a little bit between there and there. Yeah, at the very end. Oh, damn. Damn. Oh, well, it's okay. At 50, make sure the bird is out on the screen. Just make sure he's out there. You don't have to tween him. You just make sure he's out there. Okay. So here we go. Again, this is tweening between here and here, and then the landscape's moving from here and here. So if you want to see your animation do its thing and what it should look like, you go underneath Control Test Movie. Control Test Movie in Flash Professional or in a browser, either one. And you'll see my bird comes out, he's flapping away. See him coming out and flapping away. If you want him to go slower, so if you look, the wing flapping is a looping thing. Did you see that? It's a looping thing. The thing loops. This is a very classic animation way of doing things. If you want them to go slower, you can go under Properties and change the frame rate from 24 frames a second down to 12. So again, in Properties, if you take the frames per second under Properties, take the frames per second and make it at 12, and then go and test movie, you'll see it goes a little slower. There we go. He's a little slower now. I changed the frame rate down to 12 frames a second. I will come and see how you did.